There is an ancient art form, an ancient technique and strategy that will allow you to access infinite atomic energy anywhere you are, any time of day, all the time. And it is a process known as the fasting prayer. And something really exciting is happening this week, guys. We are launching our very first fasting and prayer community with a free 72-hour fasting challenge. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you guys not only the secret of the techniques of the fasting prayer and how it actually activates and allows us to access atomic energy, the atomic power of God. I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of insight on some of the things to do to prepare for your fasting prayer journey. So, first and foremost, what is the fasting prayer? The fasting prayer is an ancient technique. It is ancient wisdom that God designed for us to be able to utilize to access atomic energy and to be able to heal ourselves, our bodies, minds, hearts, souls, as well as heal others of anything. Literally, guys, any uncurable disease, any uncurable ailment of any kind, it can all be cured through the fasting prayer. And it's been done time and time again for centuries and centuries and centuries and millennia. And it's only until recent society, in recent years, where we have been programmed with this consumerism addiction, that we become so detached from this natural process of fasting. So the fasting prayer is a process of giving up food, foregoing all kinds of food, and just allowing water on board during the fast. Now, there are a few supplements that I've found helpful, and I'm going to share them with you. However, let's talk for a moment about the fasting process. So when we remove all food from our experience and our gut gets completely cleaned out, our body is actually going into a process known as autophagy. Autophagy is the process. It's the modern day world's word for describing the process that God created us with to be able to destroy unhealthy cells and build new ones, as well as clean up every area of our body, reset our hormones, reset our adrenals, reset our energy levels, and here's the kicker, produce stem cells and also peptides in the body. That's right, you don't just have to go and get them injected into you. You can actually secrete your own when you do the fasting prayer. So one of the most important things to be aware of is for this particular challenge, we are going to be starting on Thursday night at 1800 hours, which is 6 p.m. And we will go until Sunday night at 1800 hours, which is 6 p.m. During this fast, there's going to be some check-in points, which I'll have some links below in this video for you guys to get access to some resources and also be able to sign up to join in the fast. Now, one of the most important things to know about fasting is that it's a detoxification and healing process. And that when we do it in addition with the prayer, we activate the atomic energy of God to be able to heal us and ensure that it is a safe experience. I've seen a lot of people who try to get into fasting and they don't know about the fasting prayer and they're just doing it carnally. They're not doing it spirit-led. And it doesn't always end up the way they think it will, and it never ends up as great as it is when it's spirit-led. So first and foremost, we need to talk about detoxing. When we're doing fasting and we're going to be detoxing, we need to be getting binders. I'm going to have some links below in the description of this video for you guys to be able to get a hold of the binders that I use. The best ones are activated charcoal, I use an organic one, and bentonite. Those are the two things that we're going to want to have on hand as we begin our fast. Now, as we're going into the fast, the other things we want to be aware of is we want to be making sure that our bodies are getting proper hydration for sure, as well as mineralization. So there'll be a link below for some high quality salt. There will also be some links below for some high quality essential amino acids. Now, essential amino acids have literally like virtually nil calories in them. It's like maybe some of them have like 2 to 4 calories in a serving, which you can have up to 50 calories, I think about every 3 to 4 hours while you're fasting, and it won't break your fast. So now Also, keep in mind, this is all educational content. This is all just meant to be educating you, and it is not any sort of medical advice or any of that. So check with your doctors, check with your physicians. I got to tick all the boxes for the CYA for liability reasons, and make sure that you do this safely, because fasting is no joke. So get yourself some binders, get yourself some high quality salt, and get yourself some amino acids. And I suggest to start taking the aminos early on. So like when you wake up on the beginning of the, technically, second day of the fast, but it'll be Friday morning, start taking the aminos. About 30 to 60 minutes after you take those aminos, start taking the binders. And then about every 3 to 4 hours, you're going to want to do that combination of you take the aminos, and then 30 to 60 minutes after you take the binders. Now, you can drink black coffee while you're fasting. Black coffee is great for you. It helps to ramp up the autophagy process, and I love it because I'm a coffee drinker. So you can drink black coffee, but no milk, no sugar, no additions to it, just black coffee, because you can't have any additional calories beyond just the black coffee. So you've got your black coffee or your green tea if that's what you like. You've got your binders, you've got your essential aminos, and you've got your salt. And that is the bare basic starters kit that you're going to need to get through this fast. Now, remember, it's a fasting prayer. So the time when you would normally spend eating, those could be good times to spend praying, reading scripture, worshiping, and doing the other practices of your spiritual rituals. Another thing to be aware of is that this is all about grace, and this is all about atomic energy of God through fasting and prayer. So if at some point you are not feeling well and you need to break your fast, please break your fast with some bone broth and or an avocado. It's not just about the number of hours, it's about God knowing your heart and what you're doing to consecrate yourself. And sometimes it may take a few tries to get to the full 72 hours. What matters is that you try, and you don't get locked into the mechanism of 72 hours. You get locked into the mechanism of the fasting prayer and the healing that comes from it. The other thing to be aware of is that there's a high mineral content water sold at Whole Foods and Trader Joe's called Gerolsteiner. I'll have a link to that below. Gerolsteiner. It's a high mineral content water, which is going to help to make sure your body is properly mineralized in addition to the salt, as well as it does kind of help your belly feel like there's a little bit of satiation because of the carbonation in that water. So you guys are now in position to be able to access the atomic energy of God through fasting and prayer. You know that it's about a detox process, and you need to focus on binders and making sure that the things that are getting brought out of your system and dumped in your gut are binding to those binders and getting excreted out of the body so they don't recirculate into the body. All right, we're going to be making some more content for the next several weeks around specifically the fasting prayer and the launch of this new community with Awareness Elevation, and the proper ways to make sure that you prepare for the fast, what to do during the fast, how to properly break your fast, because that is of utmost importance. You could actually do more damage than good if you're not very careful and you don't break your fast properly. And also, guys, I want to encourage you, please don't fast and then go rushing into eating a bunch of junk when you break the fast. It literally defeats the purpose of fasting. The purpose of fasting is to remove all the junk and the addiction to the junk. So why would you go back to it? Even though there's a line in my favorite book that says, as a dog returns to his vomit, so man returns to his ways. If you guys have questions, leave a comment below. I've got all my social media links in the description. You guys can reach out on social media and DM me. And I'm looking forward to everybody joining in this fasting prayer and for major breakthroughs to come. So this is just an introductory video. Again, all just educational purposes, educational content, not intended to be medical advice or any of that stuff. So, as you guys know, I'm not officially a doctor or an attorney, and I don't pretend to be one, whether online or in real life. So do your own research, be safe, proceed with caution, pray into it, and if you're called to join in, then I will see you on the fast. You can activate that atomic energy of God through fasting and prayer, which will help you always shine brighter.